From Youngstown, Ohio, inside of Kappa Studios, this is the Fourth Quarter Cast.
Hello, welcome to the Fourth Quarter Cast. This is your boy K Moore. We are in the building. Sorry that we didn't do our show on Monday because I was under the weather.
I was sick. I can't talk.
As you can see, my voice is a little different right now. But I'm here. We're here.
We here.
We got Cap in the house.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We got Jake Cap in the house.
Yeah.
And we got Joey Cap back for another show.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
In his pajamas.
Yeah.
My pajamas.
And his notes.
School night.
And his
It's 5:16.
Oh man, can't help it. But
Go give me a rundown, Kyle.
yeah, we got some stuff to get into. CFP finally playoff is set.
It's official.
Meyer just said
Bye.
done. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
NFL has some stuff going on with it, especially in Kansas City. Kareem Hunt no longer on that team. And then the NBA, of course, we've had some moves in the NBA, some disappointing teams. So, let's get to it.
So, to start out, obviously, we got to kick it off with the CFP because it is finally back, and it's about time. It's finally playoff time here in college
No more
football.
talking now.
No more talking. No more debating, even though we can still debate about what it is. But,
Yeah.
It's official, obviously. So we got Bama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Oklahoma in the top four, and then Georgia and Ohio State following as the first two out.
Yeah.
So, seeing this top six, rather predictable considering how this past week with Conference Championship went. Did the committee get it right with this top six?
Yes. Absolutely. What?
Okay. All right.
If not,
I'm
what
gonna
should the
explain.
top six
I'm
look
gonna
like?
explain.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
go ahead.
explain.
Go
So, top four is right.
Yes.
But 5 and 6, I think that should be flipped, just because, you have the rundown that the committee goes through to pick your rankings. Georgia, granted, they probably are a better team than Ohio State, but based on politics of the college football playoff, if you didn't want anything to just come out and be weird, you should have just had Ohio State at 5 because they did win the Big Ten.
Georgia does have 2 losses and no conference championship.
Granted
That's
that they
true.
did lose to Alabama, which was a close game.
Which
and
they have the lead.
So Ohio State probably wouldn't have done that, but based on conference championships and amount of losses, you should have put Ohio State at 5.
Okay. All right, Joe. You swayed me there. Only because, like you said, I hate when teams are punished for winning and not what their record is. And Georgia has a worse record than Ohio State. And Ohio State, I guess, the only reason I think they kept Georgia there is because they literally had Alabama
Yeah.
Ohio
right
State
again.
Yeah.
let Northwestern into the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think those are the two big things that really just is like, we might as well keep Georgia here because Ohio State, they had the chance to really boost your resume by beating the living crap out of Northwestern.
Yep.
They didn't do it.
Yeah. So, I could agree. I could agree Ohio State has the better record. They should be at 5. But I can see where the committee was at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to make people talk, again, about 8 teams.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
No,
Not everybody.
That'd be way too much.
I want it.
There'd be a whole nother week.
Yeah,
I'd be all right with it.
I can't take it. College basketball is like hitting
Yeah.
stride.
Nobody cares about
And-
college basketball until,
Yeah, stop
February.
Look, you're talking.
Stop it. I care about
North Carolina, dude.
college
They're so
basketball,
good.
right? North Carolina sucks right now. We can't get shit
I love
together.
the Tar
Anyway.
Heels. I'm Kyle.
Anyway, so obviously we live in Ohio.
Yes.
Okay. So on places like Twitter, our timelines are probably filled with pro-Ohio State tweets
Of
and
course.
Ohio State fans angry at what the top 4 is.
Yeah.
'Cause for some reason,
They're
some
in
Ohio
denial.
State fans
They're in
feel
denial.
they're in denial, looking at everything through their Ohio State goggles. And so I saw a lot of tweets where Ohio State fans were saying that Ohio State should be in over Notre Dame. So they both played. The only logical reason this argument exists is because they both played Michigan and Northwestern. Ohio State beat both of those teams. Ohio State destroyed Michigan as opposed to Notre Dame, but didn't Notre Dame and Northwestern Notre Dame blow out Northwestern?
Yes. No, I think
Or was
the
it
other way
flipped?
around.
They were both.
So Ohio State beat both of those teams that Notre Dame also played, but Ohio State blew them both out.
Yeah.
So based on that and anything else you can conjure as to why people would put Ohio State ahead of Notre Dame, does that argument have any
They're
ground?
in denial. They're in denial. Notre Dame did not lose a game. They didn't lose a game. Granted, yes, they don't have a conference championship. But that is the thing. That's the hardest thing to do, though. Like, you don't have a conference championship. You don't have something that can boost your resume. Like, if they lost one game,
they'd be out.
you honestly could probably say Ohio State's in. But because they don't have a loss, they have to go undefeated. Like, you have to win every game. It's not like, we can lose a game and then we got the conference championship. No, you have to win every game. That's pretty hard.
Yeah.
And the one thing, too, is, like, you have to say, like, okay, Notre Dame did win every game, but they were ugly wins for most part. Like, they had some good wins against, like, average teams, but they didn't have a blowout like OSU over Michigan. But you also have to think, too, like, they're undefeated, but they didn't have a conference championship. But UCF was undefeated and had a conference
They're
championship.
looking at 9. So, I mean, I think the Ohio State fans that are saying this, Uncle Andy, shout out Uncle Andy.
The biggest one I saw
He
on
owes me
Twitter,
$10.
He does owe you $10. The biggest one I saw on Twitter, I don't know if this is probably relevant to Joe and, like, any other one. Joe Collins, okay?
What?
Did you see him tweeting?
No.
This dude, for anyone who doesn't know, Joe Collins, me and Kyle both used to work with him at Dillard's retail
Good
store.
old Dillard's.
Okay. But he was just going off on Twitter, like, adding ESPN at SportsCenter, like, angry at them. Like, what the F? Like, this is bullshit. I can't believe Ohio State is not in the top 4. This is ridiculous. Blah, blah, blah,
They
blah.
shouldn't even sniff top
Right.
4. So.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're just in really bad denial.
Yeah.
You can't get over it. Like, no, buddy, you're
Yeah.
not getting in.
Didn't do it. Literally nothing happened that needed to happen.
Yeah.
Pretty much. All right. So there was also some debate with Oklahoma getting in over Georgia. That Georgia is just flat out better than Oklahoma. Is that true?
Yes, they are.
They have a better team. I will say that as a whole. As an offense, Oklahoma shit on them, but I think you have the argument like, okay, Georgia's better, but again, who has a better record?
And not to mention with Oklahoma, technically, Oklahoma's undefeated.
They beat Texas.
They beat everyone on their schedule.
Yeah. I mean,
They're defeated.
they're defeated though.
They lost.
They lost, but they beat everyone on their
They
schedule.
beat their team. They
They
beat
lost.
the team that they
Right,
lost to,
right.
which is very rare. You
Right.
usually don't
You don't
play
get
the-
that
yeah,
chance.
You don't get that chance
Yeah.
often. But I mean, Oklahoma has a better record, and Kyler Murray is legitimately, now that Tua
Probably
is
gonna win
hurt,
the Heisman.
might win the Heisman.
Yeah. And then go play baseball.
And then go play and not even care. But Georgia, I mean, are they a better team? Most likely. But do they have a better record? No. Oklahoma does. I mean, that's another denial thing. Is like, bruh, you lost twice. I lost once.
Yeah.
I win. So, yeah.
And there's so much more, like, the committee looks at other
Oh,
than,
yeah.
like, who looks better on paper or who looks better in a game. Like, Georgia obviously looked better throughout the season just because they had a more complete team. But you have to look at the entire body, like you said, with record, conference championship, and that's what Georgia didn't have.
And they're probably looking like, all right, bro. Like, if this is going to be the second time, I don't even want to see this shit another third time. If you're going to have the lead, 20-point lead and whatnot, I don't even want to deal with it.
Yeah,
So
no way.
they probably just be like, I'm not going to see that again.
Yeah.
That'd be wow.
And you have to think, too, if they put Georgia in at 4, Bama and Georgia play a month after they just played for the SEC championship, which
Yeah.
would have been crazy. But
Would have been
I
like-
think you need something
The
different.
third time we've seen that game.
Yeah, like, I'd be like, no,
Fourth.
can we?
Didn't no.
No, third time.
What?
Third
No,
time.
they played in the national championship
No,
This year?
We're saying this year.
this year.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about like in the
It has been,
the
yes.
Bama Georgia like
Right.
fight
Right.
has been going on.
Anyway. So going back to the Ohio State part of this, so like a lot of Ohio State fans around here are always disappointed Ohio State didn't get in. So we are now at 6. We will play in the Rose Bowl against 9th-ranked Washington. Who cares about that game?
I don't.
I mean, if you're not honestly, I don't even know why they even put like the 6 up. Like they're not. No, the 4 are playing for the national championship.
Right.
5 and 6, they're just playing for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't.
So the question
I don't.
has, and I guess this was present during the bowl series when before the playoff, but has the CFP helped or hurt the other bowl games?
Obviously hurt. I mean,
Or did it kind of stay the same?
No, because I remember, like, back in the day, like, obviously you had your top 2 teams in the national championship, but those other bowl games were important. Like, when Ohio State wasn't a national championship game, they were still, like, very excited to play in the Rose Bowl. Like,
The Sugar Bowl
every year.
Yeah.
But right now, like, first of all, 2 of those bowl games are semifinals for the playoffs. So those, I mean, they're cool, but it's really like, oh, we won this bowl, but we still have to go.
Well, no, I'm not
win the
saying.
national
I'm saying
championship.
is any game not involved in the college football playoff? Does it have any relevance?
I mean, I don't think the Little Caesars Pizza Bowl makes any sense to have even before.
And that's the thing. People have been referencing that. Like, why do we have these bowls? Like, why do we even what Michelin Tires Bowl? Like, who cares?
You should definitely need more than 6 wins to get in a bowl game.
And so, I mean, people are not. I mean, obviously, your fans are going to watch the game, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, yo, this is a big game. You got to win. Like, it's really not.
Right.
You're playing for the national championship. Everyone's playing for the playoff.
Exactly.
So, I think it's hurt the other bowl games tremendously. Whereas when it was the bowl series, it's like, oh, this is a good game. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And even at that point, you could now say like, maybe they should win the national championship. That made things a lot easier to be like, they're bringing back returners from that team.
Yeah.
Maybe they should be in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's hurt it tremendously. But this is what we asked for.
Yeah. I mean, and this also brings up something that I brought up a really long time ago on the fourth quarter cast, and Ron shot it down. So would it be more interesting if we adjusted the bowl series? So instead of having Ohio State play Washington 6 versus 9, why not have Georgia and Ohio State play in a bowl game?
I would love it.
And then Michigan and UCF play in a bowl game. So 7 versus 8, 9 versus 10, 11 versus 12, and so on.
I mean, I remember when you said that because I was like,
Ron's argument was that nobody wants to see a rematch. That's what the main argument was.
Not the case.
Who would we see in a rematch?
I think he's referencing because there's so many SEC teams that's going to be in top 10.
Right.
So many Big Ten teams, ACC. Well, I don't even know about ACC.
Right.
Clemson. That we're probably going to see games that we've already seen already. Which, okay, but how often is it going to happen?
Like, I think it would have been like Ohio State, or I think it would have been like Michigan and Penn State would have played again.
Yeah, like
or something like that.
I mean, I think that's all right.
Now it's for a bowl.
Right, but now it's playing for a trophy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and you have to think too, if you go back at like what we talked about earlier with the 6 rankings, like people are complaining like, okay, they might accept the top 4, but then they're like, why is Ohio State at 6?
Yeah, like what is the point of
what gave Georgia the almighty, oh, you guys are number 5? Like if we had a 5-6 game Georgia versus Ohio State, then you'd be like, who's the real number 5?
I see. Right. I understand. And I think that would be perfect because teams like UCF
would play a Michigan
we
team.
play Michigan and beat the crap out of them.
Exactly.
Yo, UCF is legit.
Right.
So, I mean, I love that idea. I remember when you said it because I was like, that makes total sense.
And plus, then it would be like it's like the 2 teams that are like 5 and 6. Like
you can be like,
it's like head to head. Like, hey, 6, we're actually better than 5. You know what I mean?
Those lines would be like 1, 2, 3.
Like
you would have like you wouldn't be like, oh, this game's projected to be 14.5 favorite.
Yeah,
for,
that would make every.
I think
You know
sweet.
how much fun betting would be?
Right.
For me?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Wow. They should put me on the committee.
Yeah.
They should put us on the committee.
Just put normal people on committee.
Yeah, not the
like average Joes on the committee.
Yeah, like
You're
that.
like, what do you want to watch? Well, I want to go to B-Dubs, drink a beer, eat wings, and watch Georgia play Ohio State. How about that? Anyway.
Next topic.
So, sticking in the college football Ohio State realm, Urban Meyer officially stepping down as Ohio State's head coach due to like 90% due to health reasons. He has a
Which is
cyst
legit.
on his brain.
Yeah.
So that's pretty serious and scary. What he has said in the press conference, he said he wants to remain involved in some way. He kept alluding to his close relationship with Gene Smith. So he said that he wants to stay involved and help out with Ohio State and the football program and the university in some facet. But seeing what we know now, and everything that we know about Urban Meyer and his career and all that nonsense, what will Urban Meyer's legacy be?
Honestly, you had in the conversation one of the greatest college coaches ever. I mean, he'll be that. Like, he'll be one of the greatest college coaches ever. He's won everywhere he's been, so it's like, you're a winner, you're great, you win championships. I mean, he's a legend.
There's just some hiccups in his career.
Just some hiccups, but every coach has that.
But I wouldn't call them like professional, like sport hiccups. I'm talking about as a person, like mistakes that he's made in his career that will probably leave a little bit of a burn on his. But it's almost
legacy. And honestly, like, it's almost like Tressel. Like, people are like,
national championship.
Yeah, but he won a lot, and
he's cool.
He had that mistake, but. It's like people move on. And they're like, you know what? He did more good than he did bad.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Urban's like. He's going to be the greatest coach ever, one of the greatest coaches ever. And, he was a winner. So,
yeah.
Cool. So after Urban Meyer announced he was stepping down, it was very quickly announced that Ryan Day would be the next head coach, and immediately came out that he signed a 5-year contract with Ohio State to be the head coach.
Their offense is about to be stupid. Their offense is about to be crazy.
So the question, will Ryan Day be successful with Ohio State as the full-time head coach?
Yes. I'll take this one first.
First.
Oh,
okay. He has notes on this.
Well, I didn't really take a lot of notes on this, but I was discussing the whole Urban Meyer deal in a class the other day, and we were talking about commits. Like, Urban Meyer was one of the best recruiters in all of college football, and like, now that he's retiring, what are going to happen to those 5-star, 4-star commits that committed to him? And I was looking at the Twitter of a 2019 grad 5-star quarterback, probably gonna start, probably over Tate Martell if Haskins ends up leaving this year.
Yeah.
And he tweeted 1,000% committed to Ohio State. Thank you for Urban Meyer, but let's go Ryan Day. So I think just because that you still have that Ohio State personnel just kind of sweeping in, I think our recruiting as well, will just be okay, and we will get those 5 stars, 4 stars. Not because we're Ohio State, but because Ryan Day is going to be that coach.
It's gonna be great. I mean, to have as a recruit to see okay, the head coach is gone, but literally his staff's gonna be there. It's gonna be
right.
there.
It's his team. It's still Urban Meyer's team.
Yeah,
it's his team. It's his staff.
And Ryan Day's gonna bring in probably some of his guys, but he's probably gonna be like, all right,
Greg Schiano, you can stay as defense, please.
You're fine. You stay there. And I mean, I think Ryan Day is the perfect guy for this because if you think about Ohio State when Urban Meyer first got there, it was all about explosive offense. They had explosive offense. Last few years have been stagnant because JT Barrett can't throw the ball.
Yeah.
You get back to this year, they start off literally blowing teams out, scoring any possession they wanted to. We'll take a field goal, guys. Okay, we won't put it in
with Ryan Day.
So to just see in the future now what this team could be, and I think honestly, Dwayne Haskins has to stay. If he'll be a number 1 pick next year. He will be. He honestly
in the 2019 draft.
Yes.
What?
He could
over Nick Bosa?
No.
Next year.
Oh,
I
said 2019.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
The next draft is 2019.
2020. Yeah. Wow. This year is almost over.
Yep.
You're dumb.
But anyway, I think Dwayne Haskins will be number 1 pick next year. Well, after next year, because he has I mean, he's leading the country in touchdowns.
He's big.
He can throw the ball.
He's the most NFL. Even if he were to go in today, he should be number one quarterback wise, just because he is the most NFL ready quarterback. He's a pocket passer that has a cannon.
He's a big guy.
And so, I mean, I can't wait for next year now. Now that like when I saw that, I was like, wow, our offense is gonna be great. None of this like, oh, we're handed off 2-yard pass for a 3-yard gain. No, let's cranking it. Let's go.
Yeah,
this is gonna be fun to see.
All right, moving on.
Next topic.
Into the NFL we go. It has been a roller coaster of a week for the NFL. Not necessarily what happened with moving away of what happened with Kareem Hunt and why he was let go. Strictly talking about Kansas City, how much will the loss of Kareem Hunt affect the Chiefs this season?
Well, I didn't have them, in my opinion, as a Super Bowl winner. Like, I think they're good. I think they're great. Like, I think they are one of the probably top 5 teams in the league, but I don't think that they could have won this year even with Kareem Hunt. I believe that the Rams are ridiculously good. I believe the Texans are getting a lot better, and I also believe that you can't, like, just kick out the Patriots. No matter.
Well, I mean,
as long as you have Tom Brady,
Steelers looked really bad,
and then
bad. I mean, yeah.
But I honestly, I just think the Rams are going to win anyway. So I think they're still going to be good. I don't think they're going to be as good, but I think they're probably going to have the same result that they would have gotten with him.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Kansas City was a Super Bowl winner this year. Could have made.
They could have made
the Super Bowl. Yes,
made it.
I think 10-2.
Yeah,
So.
I think Patrick Mahomes.
They still can make it.
There would have been a moment. There would have been a time where he showed that I'm a second year player. You know what I mean? Not saying he would have. I'm just saying it's most likely. With this loss of Kareem Hunt, I don't really think it affects them. You know why? Because they have a human cheat code that runs around everywhere. His name is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
that's all they need. Tyreek, you can play running back today. Here you go. And I would not be surprised to see that. Him in the backfield a lot. So, I mean, they re-signed some guys, but they're going to have the same, same effect.
I don't think I love Tyreek Hill. He was on my fantasy team for like the first 12 weeks of the season. I had to trade him though. But
darn.
I mean, it was heartbreaking. Like, I was really upset when I had to do it, but I had to for the team, But I think that Kareem Hunt was a big deal just in the fact of the matter that he brought that running presence that the Chiefs needed to get those play action passes so Tyreek Hill doesn't get double covered because they have to stop the run still. Like, now that he's not there, obviously you're going to get an NFL running back and he's going to be okay. But it's not going to be Kareem Hunt. So you're going to be able to say, all right, like, let's play off the run. Let's double cover probably top 3 wide receivers in the league. So who's he going to throw to now? Like, who's Mahomes going to throw to now? So Kareem Hunt is a loss, but they will be all right. Tyreek Hill will still be good, but teams will figure this out a little bit more against the Chiefs' offense.
I mean, I agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So then, kind of going back into the actual situation and why it happened. So for what Kareem Hunt did, does he deserve a lifetime ban from the NFL?
Personally, no. There's been worse. And those guys gotten second, third, fourth chances. I understand he lied, but it's human nature. I'm on this football team, and I know if I say what I did, I'm gone anyway. I have to. Natural human nature, I'm going to lie. Because he didn't even, the organization or him didn't even know about the video until it came out. So, again, like I said, we've seen worse. We've had guys literally be like, yeah, I did it, and get second, third chances. I mean, Kareem Hunt did it. As soon as it came out, a couple days later, boom, he's doing an interview. Answering tough questions, saying, I was wrong. And he accepted what he did was wrong, accepted his consequences. He had no hard feelings against the Chiefs. You've seen guys be like, they don't support me. No, they're just doing the right thing, and he understands that. So, lifetime ban, I'm not really seeing it.
I think he'll get one, though.
which is I think is ridiculous.
I think just because
You think he'll get a lifetime ban?
I think he will get a lifetime ban.
Do you agree with that?
I don't know. I don't want to get into touchy subjects just because.
That's why we're here.
But I think that he will get a lifetime ban just because of what it is. Like, it is a physical assault on a 220-pound guy onto a defenseless woman. Granted, she was probably like drunk trying to fight him. I mean, he said she was like stalking him and stuff. So like, but that doesn't excuse what he did.
Exactly.
And especially like in today's time, in today's society, like assault on a woman in any sort, whether it be like physical abuse or mental, like nothing is okay where a man can assault a woman in any way. And I think that just, they are going to go bottom line. You cannot do that.
And I agree with him.
And you need to make a statement.
I think that's what it is. They had to make a statement.
Yeah.
You've been cracking down on this for almost like 5 years. This has literally been the NFL's problem, right? So now it's like, all right, it can't be anymore. He apologizes and they suspend him for the rest of the season and then come back. We have to make a statement. We have to make a stand. He's our guy. We have, and now it's not Ezekiel Elliott. Like, we don't have evidence. No, you have clear cut evidence.
Right.
Of what happened? Well, lifetime ban.
See, you cannot excuse what he did.
No,
it was awful.
And I think he understands that.
Right. But the only reason why I would say he does not deserve a lifetime ban is because does every other occupation get a lifetime ban for domestic violence? And
No.
I mean, like, does a doctor get a lifetime ban? Does a bank teller get a lifetime ban from being a bank? You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to these other occupations out in the real world, I mean, does everybody get a lifetime ban for this?
No, but they're not on the bright spotlight that is the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, Kareem Hunt's one of the early faces, like young faces.
So
of the
you
NFL.
do you hold NFL players to a higher standard than a surgeon?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because is my kid watching Grey's Anatomy when he's 8 years old? Like,
No.
I love this shit, Mom. Like, no, he's watching Kareem Hunt. He's watching, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Like, your kids are watching these people, so you expect them, which is, you can say fair and unfair at the same time, but you have an expectation.
I mean, if you're paying these people $10 million a year,
you have an expectation. And that's the expectation. If you're going to be a athlete, not only for your team, but for this big corporation that generates billions and billions of dollars, you have an expectation. Just like the workplace, you have an expectation. Now, their punishments are a little different, yeah, but that's what we expected from you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I really don't think he deserves it, but you're dealing with the NFL. It's not the AFL. It's not Arena League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Kareem Hunt is like a well-known name in the NFL, like in the last couple of
Yes.
years. But I think even if this was an Odell, like if Odell did the same exact thing with the same exact video coming out, I think you would still. He probably is the most well-known name in football besides Tom Brady, like right now, or top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Like
He's
if,
up there.
I mean, you watch people like you're either saying you got mossed or you're saying, oh, I just Odell'd you in the face, like. But like
I feel
even
like Joe's done that like yesterday.
but like even if it's him, like you have to get rid of him.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
You have to.
Just because you have to make that statement. You have to make that stand. Like, yo, we're not. This isn't a wish-washy. No, we're sticking with it.
Zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance. So, yeah.
All right, interesting.
Next topic.
Moving away from football into basketball in the world of the NBA.
Whoa! You serious?
Oh my God!
We don't talk. We don't
I'm
talk
sorry.
on this
I'm
show
sorry, I'm
without
sorry, I'm
talking
sorry.
about.
I'm sorry. You're right. My mistake. That
We're back to the NFL.
that discussion. We're back to the NFL
Next topic.
and over to football. Over to the Browns because we got to talk about the Browns. So the Browns played the Texans this weekend, and it was just they could have beat them, but the Browns
just
just
didn't
kept
look like the
they
past
just
few weeks.
they just kept the Browns kept beating the Browns. You know, it was just one of those very Browns games.
Brownish games.
So they continually shot themselves in the foot over and over and over and over and over again. If I hear a ref say holding on anyone again, I'm going to shoot myself. But after being on fire the 2 previous games, did the Browns need this loss?
Hell yeah.
Was it a reality check?
I told y'all last time. I know. That's all. I told y'all last time. They're getting too cocky. They're thinking, oh, yeah, we beat you. He's in Cincinnati. That don't mean nothing. Y'all, this is the first time y'all been decent in like 18 years. Chill out. They needed this, especially Baker.
Yeah.
I'm glad he threw 3 picks. He deserved it.
He came back. Second half looked good. He did.
I don't care. He needed 3 picks.
I think they needed it.
They needed it back.
I needed it. I hated watching it, but we all needed it.
Every Browns fan needed to be like, all right, we're not going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, chill out. The playoffs not happening.
We're still going to get a top 10 pick, probably. Like
Browns this year, but only this stay in your lane. You know,
Yeah,
we'll
like,
talk to you next year,
chill
maybe.
Yeah,
Right now,
you'll be more in the hunt than what we said a week ago.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they need this so bad.
10 wins next year, Browns. That's
Hey, hold on.
10 wins.
Mike McCarthy got fired. I just want the Browns fans to understand that. Just know that. Mike McCarthy got let go by the Packers, which is ridiculous, but
yeah,
They were bad.
Browns fans, I'm telling you, he might be he's definitely in the hunting.
Woo!
Next topic.
All right, now moving on to the NBA. The Bulls fired
Fred Hoiberg.
Fred
Hoiberg.
Hoiberg.
There you go.
I don't know why I said Roy.
Roy Hibbert was the coach.
I think it was a combination of that and like I've been watching The Office a lot again lately, and there's a Roy character in there, so maybe I look.
Oh, Roy. Yeah.
Mary tries to marry Pam, but so was the firing of Fred Hoiberg a smart move by the Bulls?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This guy, I thought, honestly, not going to lie, I thought he should have been fired after his second year. I was like, this guy sucks. He needs to go back to Iowa State.
Garbage.
Because Zach LaVine has emerged as your star, which is just crazy, but he's your star player. They need to go in a different direction because I don't know what Fred is doing. Because at this point, it looks like give Zach the ball, everybody get out the way and go score.
Which is difficult to view because Fred Hoiberg was viewed as a offensive powerhouse.
Yeah,
like we were always the Bulls defense is gonna suck,
but we're okay.
But we have a great offense, and that is just so wrong. Like
they have horrible everything.
Horrible. Yeah,
Fred horrible. That's
not as bad as the Cavs, but pretty horrible.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
So all right, moving on. Just keeping it out east. What is wrong with the Celtics? Why are the Celtics right now sitting at 13-10?
They might be. Did they play yesterday?
I'm looking at the record right now. It says 13-10.
They might need a 14-year vet or something.
No,
freaking idiot. Kyrie. Oh my god.
Kyrie's dumb.
Kyrie is dumb.
He's dumb.
I think honestly, and I don't know what it is. I think LeBron leaving and going to another coast is like just throwing everything off. Like the whole ecosystem of the NBA is just bad. Like the Mavs, they're good. They're good.
Luka Doncic, man.
Luka Doncic is that guy.
He's beast. He's a boss.
What are we saying?
All right, still like kind of keeping with that. Like looking out west, like looking at the
who's number one? Tell me who's number one.
Number one in the West is the Denver Nuggets.
The Nuggets.
Second is the Clippers. Third is the Thunder.
I told you. The whole ecosystem of the NBA completely changed when LeBron went to the West.
But like looking out west, 14 out of 15 teams in the West are basically at 500.
Yes.
The Suns are the exception at 4-20. Okay. We look at out east, 9 out of 15, right around 500.
What is happening in the NBA? I don't get it. Before it was like, okay, let it get to 20 games, then we'll have something to say. It's 23 games, and I'm a little scared for a couple teams. Like, the Celtics are not looking good at all. The Rockets can't figure it out. I'm just, it's so crazy. I was thinking about that today. I was like, ever since LeBron went over to the West, everything's just messed up.
It's really weird.
Like, the Clippers think they're still running LA. You don't.
I honestly like going back to the Eastern Conference. I think the Celtics just were like, oh, LeBron's gone.
Exactly.
No one's in our way. We have to be the best team. And I think they're like cracking under that, oh, we have to be the best team in the East pressure. While you look at Kawhi and the Raptors just saying like, yeah, I'm better than
no
you.
more LeBronto.
Kawhi's like, I'm top 5 in the league.
Like, I don't know. I think the Celtics, they're not figuring it out. And again, that's why I alluded to the other teams being good. The NBA is just like no nonsense. There's no, we're coming to play and we're coming to beat you. So I don't know if LeBron just completely just took all the power and just distributed it differently, but it's messing with me.
Like the Spurs.
Yeah, they're bad.
Are 11-13, which is 14th in the Western Conference out of 15. Kawhi Leonard is on the Raptors, sitting at 20-5.
with Fred Nurse as your head coach, not Greg Popovich.
Right.
Fred Nurse.
Right. It's just a weird.
That's crazy.
It's a weird season.
It's I
Really
can't
weird.
wait. I just can't wait to see what this season looks like when it gets to a halfway point.
Yeah,
because that's gonna be crazy.
it's weird.
If the Clippers are still winning, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to put Tobias Harris as like an all-star, right?
Tobias Harris is an all-star,
But like
he's an all-star.
in the Western Conference.
Yes.
Like,
who would have thought?
So
I mean, like, would you put him there though?
anyway,
Like, there's so many big
Anyway.
names.
So kind of
Getting a heart attack over that.
keeping it in the NBA
Yes.
and discussing the conference and the imbalance of power
Yes.
in the NBA between the conferences. Would the NBA be better without the two conferences? If it was just all one league, you all play each other, and whoever's the best in the league is the best in the league.
It has to stay within conference. 'Cause that'd be so weird.
I wouldn't
Like,
like
I
it.
mean-
I wouldn't
mean-
like it.
The schedule would have to be changed a little bit because now the NBA wouldn't have to say like you're gonna play these teams 4 times.
I think you play every team twice.
No, that's
I
not-
think, but I don't think it would be a good idea just
It
because.
wouldn't.
I mean, you have to think about like the players.
like that's going
lives.
coast to coast.
Yeah, like I mean, you have to think like when you go on those long road trips, you schedule like 7 out of 8 games completely on the West Coast because you're going to be used to that time change. Those
Yeah.
first couple games of that road trip, like you're going to
It'd
be
be
sluggish.
awful.
Like
They have
But
to
Who says
keep
you can't
conference.
still do that?
you can, but it
No
would,
one's saying that everybody has to move.
But but we're saying
there's just no conferences.
But you have to stay, like, people stay on the Eastern Conference because, like, you play those teams 4 times because you're not
Yeah.
getting those, like,
You're
big
not- You're
alterations.
not
get-
flying to the West.
But if you play every team twice, you'll get more days off, and then there will be less games, which means each game would mean more, which means.
But
you can then
I don't.
compete with
But
the-
I don't think the NBA. I don't think the NBA wants to lose money like that.
that's weird. And
You
then
make
how
money
would you,
every
how would
night
You,
with
now how would
80
you split up the Western Eastern Conference All Stars? Like,
You do the draft again.
Yeah, just do a draft.
I mean, we do that. They did it.
The draft happening right
Yeah.
now is
Yeah,
It's cool.
but like,
it's cool.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. Like, without
Conferences will never be
conferences?
gone.
That's like
I don't think they'll ever be gone.
that's like
but-
saying like the NFL don't have the AFC and NFC. Like,
Yeah. Then that would be pointless to having divisions. Like
yeah.
you would.
And that's another thing, divisions.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
get
the
rid of
NBA
divisions.
isn't as big of a deal because it really is top 8 teams in the East,
Yeah.
top 8 teams in the West. But like when you have NFL football, like if you win the AFC North, you are in the playoffs. Whether you're 6-6 or like
you win your division.
like you could go under 500 and still win your division and make the playoffs, which doesn't make sense, but that's what happens.
stupid.
But that's what divisions are. You have to give them a meaning.
And plus, I don't want to associate with those Easterners.
You live in Youngstown, Ohio.
Kyle lives in LA, guys.
Oh my god! All right.
man.
4QC. Prediction period.
It is time for the 4QC prediction period. Brought to you by Carmex.
Ooh.
Kyle's lip stuff. Lip balm. So it's a short one today, so we will be quick and efficient with this. How will the college football playoff play out? Give me final scores of games and your predictions throughout.
All right, I'll go first because Kyle's putting on his Carmex.
Game 1, Alabama versus Oklahoma.
All right, Bama's winning, obviously, but I will say the score is 42-38.
Huh.
Close one. That
Interesting.
offense is scary.
All right. Bama, Oklahoma. I swear, if Oklahoma had just a sniff of defense, they could beat Alabama. I'll say Alabama 45. No. Alabama 48, Oklahoma 45.
Ooh,
cats are
even
slinging.
closer.
Holy
They are
smokes.
slinging.
All right.
Jalen Hurts will get the start.
Clemson
I think it-
and Notre Dame.
Joe, you can take this one.
All right, Clemson. I mean, they're just good. I mean, even with a second-string quarterback, like, they're just good. But I'll call the score a little bit lower. We'll say 27-17. Nah, 14. 27-14.
Upset alert.
What?
Notre Dame.
No.
Notre Dame over Clemson. 21-18.
Wow.
21-18. They won on a field
Wow.
goal. We're looking at the Irish
All right.
National Championship.
So, Joe, we have Alabama and Clemson again.
Yep.
Kyle, we have Alabama and Notre Dame. Joe,
This is why it's going to be so easy.
Alabama versus Clemson.
I mean, I'm still picking Bama. Like, last year they were good, but they didn't even win the SEC last year, but they were good. They were the best team in college football. This year they are even better. Like, disgustingly better. So you probably put them, I think it's going to be a defensive game. 24-17.
Kyle, Alabama and Notre Dame.
This is why I picked this game, because it's going to be the easiest game to pick. But Bama over ND. It's going to be 28-17. Their
Okay.
team's going to have a great first half and then blow it.
I'm picking Oklahoma over Alabama.
Shootout, okay.
Final score will be 60-53.
Okay.
Um,
About it.
and then I will pick
Two
Clemson to beat Notre Dame. That final score will be 14-10. So I got Clemson and Oklahoma, and I believe that Oklahoma,
Kyler Murray,
Kyler Murray,
Heisman winner.
carrying this
Big down.
Oklahoma team.
Those numbers
all
you
the
said
way.
were just dumb.
Yeah, there's no way they're
I mean,
scoring.
Why were they dumb?
60-53.
Sure.
That, I mean, maybe in double overtime.
That's not going to happen.
No way.
I think
No
they
way.
score 40 points, though.
40.
I think both
60?
teams score 40.
Mm.
This offense is pretty good.
And Clemson's
It
too
is.
good to
that's
put up.
that's why it's almost so hard to be like,
Yeah. Am I wrong?
Oklahoma's not going to be out of this. They're going to score a lot of points.
I mean, it's going to be a shootout. You're going to go back, like, but no.
All right. So, as it stands now, there are 4 teams that stand out in the NBA currently among the other 26 teams. As it stands at this moment, who will win the race to the bottom? The Cavs currently at 5-18, the Suns at 4-20, Atlanta at 5-19, and the Bulls at 5-20. Who is the worst of the 4?
I said it last week. I'll say it again. The Cleveland Cavaliers.
The Cavs are the worst out of these 4 teams.
Worst team. I mean, maybe the Suns. Maybe.
How is Atlanta? Well, Atlanta blew out the Cavs. I keep forgetting.
Trae Young got like 35.
Like, the Cavs are just...
man.
I mean, they're in games, but they never seem to lose by less than, like,
That won yesterday.
15. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Game-winning dunk, Alec Burke.
Alec Burke is it.
Yeah,
Newly
well,
acquired
who'd they play?
from the Jazz.
Who they play?
The Nets.
The Nets.
Oh,
It's in Brooklyn.
the Nets.
Hey, I just want to say, I still don't understand how the Suns are the worst on this list because they have freaking Devin Booker, a star that none of these other teams have.
And DeAndre Ayton.
And DeAndre Ayton, who's eating.
It's the Puma shoes.
It might be.
It might be.
But race to the bottom will be won. Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta will definitely, because they have, like, if I'm looking at all those teams, I can name 4 or 5 players on the Cavs, probably more. I can name 4 or 5 on the Suns, probably more. Bulls, 4 or 5. I can name anyone other than Trae Young, John Collins, and Bazemore. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh.
So, yeah, I don't think it's not looking good for Atlanta. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it.
Yeah,
Right there.
I would have to agree. I think Atlanta's.
They'll fold.
What the heck was that, Joe?
I just tore up my notes.
Yeah, because Atlanta's just
This
not
show-
striving right now. Actually, the Falcons stink. The Hawks stink. The Braves are pretty good this year,
Yeah.
but everybody else stinks.
Everybody stinks, man.
Anyway, you know what else stinks? We got to end this show. We got to go. It is
45
Wednesday,
minutes,
and
58 seconds.
I can't wait to eat
SpaghettiOs.
Cap's mom's made SpaghettiOs.
fresh. She
Fresh
made the
SpaghettiOs.
circle noodles.
Oh,
made
my
the
God.
sauce.
Wow, she's amazing.
She even put it in a SpaghettiOs can.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, thank you for listening to Fourth Quarter Cast. This is K Moore. Yeah, you can listen to us everywhere. We're on Spotify, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, pretty much anywhere you want to listen to us at. We'll be in your car if you want. Anyway, thank you for listening. Kat, where can they follow you at?
They can follow me at _JakeCap and _Northern Whale.
It is Joey Capizzuto at
yeah.
Joey Capizzuto.
Well, you know it now.
That is. I had to look again just to double check, but that is what it is.
At Joey Capizzuto. At Joey Capizzuto.
Yeah, what?
No, like I was saying what my name was, but then the handle is actually at Joey Capizzuto.
I understood.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kyle.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, you can follow the Fourth Quarter Cast on Twitter at the number 4 TH Quartercast. The number 4 TH Quartercast. Can't spell. Just, I don't know. Ask somebody. We have a website. Same thing, but instead of at www.fourthquartercast.com. You can follow me on Twitter at more Kyle, please.
Moore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Thank
the
you.
last name.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Just haven't been listening to me for like 3 years. But you can follow me more Kyle too on Snapchat. 2 O's also.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, thank you for listening to the Fourth Quarter Cast. Hope you have a great day. Peace out. Goodbye.